Hello there, friends. Today we are going to discuss three of the most exciting young players in the NFL right now. That's right. We've got Stroud, Lawrence, and Hurts, three young, amazing quarterbacks who are absolutely having an impact upon the league. We're going to discuss their rookie card values that you can see here in a PSA 10 grade and whether or not we are interested in getting in on these cards at that point. We'll discuss some entrance points and some exit points, and at the end, maybe discuss which card I would prefer to have in my own collection. First, let's discuss the newest member to this club, CJ Stroud. Of course, the man is having an amazing year, and really everything he's done has just been impressive, and that has translated into huge demand for his rookie cards. Not surprising, right? But for me, what is surprising about this card in particular, it's a 2023 Panini Prizm Draft Picks card number 102. What's very surprising to me is the money that this card brings in, because within this set, there are plenty of parallels. There are plenty of high value cards, and this is just the base set card. And right now, as you can see, on average, it's going to require a $143.55 bid in order to win this card on eBay. So we've got an 11-point data set here that you can see. I generally like to get a 15-point data set point. However, the market is just not flush with these cards right now, making it hard to gain some data. But so keep that in mind. But wow. $143.55 is your average bid price for this card. Now let's look at the graph real quick. As you can see, pretty consistent, staying above that 115 mark, which is your low, and the high of $180. So that is an interesting sort of about 50% swing between high and low. That's relatively consistent with what we might expect to see, especially when you've got a card this volatile. So not surprising there. But let's take a look at the rest of the numbers here. Do I personally think that this card is worth $143? I most certainly do not. This is not what I would be paying, because this is inclusive, essentially, of the fees that the sellers must pay in order to have a listing on the auction site. So usually that number includes, it's about a 13 to 15% take right off the top. And so this orange number is actually what the sellers are taking home after those fees are taken out. Now, this is what I would put the fair market value at right now for this card, at about $124. Now, is that what I am paying? Most certainly not. I am not going to be paying that, because that represents about an 85% of this blue number. That's not what I'm interested in. I've got 70, 75%, and 80% numbers listed here in the green, yellow, and red, as you can see, and these are certainly more to my liking. Green would be my opening offer, 70% of the price point. Blue, that's about $100 even. Now, you might be able to get somebody who's willing to bite on this number. However, most would probably laugh you out the door at this point, because they're banking on his future, and they're banking on the excitement that he could have within this game going for quite a while. So people are riding that wave, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are not interested at $100. $107 is right where I start to slow on down, just like a light, a traffic light. Yellow, we're slowing down. Red is a hard no for me in general. Now, I usually like to get into the top third of the sales, or I should say the bottom third of the sales, if I'm buying this card. So we're going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, since we only have 11 data points here. And you are going to see a $104.23 valuation on this card in person. So this is what I would personally probably max out at. I got to get in that bottom third of sales so that I can swing it and maybe make a little bit of money off the top. If I'm putting it in my own personal collection, fine. Maybe I see a particular card and pay a bit more for it, fine. But if I'm trying to make some money off of it, I want to get in right around $104.23. If I wanted to swing it back on eBay and see what I could get, the top third, or top third most expensive in auctions, is right at $158.50. So that's probably what I would be looking at for, say, a buy it now if I wanted to try and swing it fast and move on from it. And that would net me $137.20, getting you about, $33 worth of profit. That would be my entrance point and exit point, and fair market value 124, my own personal valuation as far as what I wanted at 104. Pretty nice card. I don't know that this card has this staying power because there are a lot of other more difficult, lower population cards out there for CJ Stroud and his rookie card, and who knows how long this can stay at this price point. So I wouldn't be looking to hold on to this card for very long, truthfully. Next up, let's take a look at Trevor Lawrence. So this is the 2021 Donruss rated rookie, card number 251. And these are, again, 15 this time. I was able to find 15 of these. This is a data set from eBay once again, and we're seeing an average price point, interestingly enough, significantly lower than the CJ Stroud. So, and on average, $36.88 won you this card in a PSA 10 grade. I personally think that is a great value. I really do. Basically, Lawrence has had a bit of the shine fall off of him, and mostly because, well, Stroud has been climbing the ranks so much. Now, this card, essentially, you're not getting much of a premium for being a PSA 10 grade right now as a rookie because, well, it takes money to get it graded. And if you are buying the card raw, getting it graded, you're probably going to at least be looking like you're going to be about $36 in on it at that point. So for me, I'm all in. I like this price point in general. However, I certainly don't want to pay those fees. So if I'm seeing this at a show, $31.70 is fair market value. I try to get my hands on it in that $25 to $30 range at the most. Now let's again see bottom third, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This time we're looking at $28.32. So yes, we're looking at right between red and yellow as far as getting it in the bottom third. I'd be very happy with this card at $28. And let's see if we can swing it back on eBay in general or something along those lines. $41 would be what a buy it now option would be for me at the lowest. That would net you $35, getting you a $7 profit on this card. So kind of crazy to me that this card value is so low. It's just not riding a huge wave right now. And I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this card because I think, I don't know. I mean, at that price point, I feel like I'm a buyer all day long. I don't know. Anyways, let's see what is up next for us. We've got the Jalen Hurts here. So this is the 2020 Panini Chronicles Luminance card, number 210, again in a PSA 10 grade. Let's go ahead and look at the graph before I screw it up by sorting the numbers up above. So pretty steady again. We're looking at $16.50 as a low, all the way up to $35 twice as the high. So we are more than 100% swing in the upward and from the between the low to the high, and that's significant money, right? So why that exists, I don't know. I tried figuring it out. These were actually bids that happened here. So I don't know. Somebody got a steal of a deal in the end. So, again, let's look at these. So $24.57 gets you a PSA 10 Jalen Hurts. Yeah, that's crazy. Again, if you're getting it graded, if you're getting the card raw, it's probably going to cost you that in general. So in order to if you want to get your hands on one of the most dynamic players in the league right now, of course, he kind of got booted out of the playoffs a bit early this year. But still, that's a pretty cheap price point to get in on a card for a young quarterback in a PSA 10 grade. Orange, $21. Green's going to be $17.20. And let's see where the bottom third lines up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking at $17.48, right in between that green and that yellow. I think I'd be perfectly happy getting it in on this yellow at $18.42. Bottom third, let's look here. All right, we're going over. $22.26 could net you about $4 in profit on this card if you want to just swing it pretty quick. So, very interesting card to me as far as value for a PSA 10. Again, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on these. So now, which card would I personally prefer? I'm going to tell you which card I'm not going to get. It's definitely going to be CJ Stroud for me. I just think that right now we are riding too big and hot and heavy of a wave on his cards, and just for a base set rookie. And I know I had troubles finding these cards, right? I had troubles getting my hands on it, but I'm willing to bet that there are going to be far more of these PSA 10s on the market relatively soon here, as soon as the grading process catches up to all of the new CJ Strouds that have been hit. And we are simply going to be seeing plenty of lower population CJ Strouds coming on the market as well. And I think they're definitely going to be getting a bit more interest in those cards. The silver, a red cracked ice, plenty of other parallels in this one base set alone that kind of has me scared away from it. Now, between the Trevor Lawrence and the Jalen Hurts, you know what? They're on my watch list. Both of them are on my watch list right now. And if I can find deals that happen within a price point I want, I'm jumping on them right away, because I think that plenty of the shine has been taken away from them. And yes, these aren't the flashiest of cards, but they're still rookies, and you're basically getting them at raw value plus grading prices for a PSA 10. So that's what these cards are worth to me. And basically, I'm looking at Hurts and Lawrence. And yes, if I get lucky on pulling a Stroud from a pack, I'll pat myself on the back and point to the sky and say thank you. But if not, I'm looking at these two guys all day long. Take care, my friends.